Hey, here we are, Friday night, and we're doing a crystal live. I'm Lolly with Purple Spirit Healing, and I can't wait to have you join me. Let's have some fun. Crystal fun, right? So please share this to your page or share it with friends, any of your crystal loving friends, because we're going to talk about some really fun stuff. We're not going to talk too much, but just enough to have a little fun tonight, because I think we need a little lightheartedness. You know, this week has been kind of rocky, to say it nicely, and we need to feel some lightness, feel some joy, and what better to do that with than with crystals. Because I want to talk about some amazing things that are happening with me and a whole new class that I'm going to be sharing about tonight and a giveaway. So if you can share this with as many friends and you get them to come in, then you put a heart emoji down on the comments, and then I'll keep track. And so that will put you in the drawing for a 30-minute reading with me. How's that sound? Because sometimes we need to unplug from the chaos that's going on around the world and talk about things that feel good. And so if we need a couple of minutes, in our Friday night to do that, then let's do it. So I have been working on a brand new course, and I'm so excited to share it. And because I love crystals so much, and they have literally changed my life. They've changed how I move in the world. They have changed my household and how I can keep the overall energy of the house with calm and loving energy. And it makes me feel like a little bit more in control over what I bring into the house and what I don't bring into the house. What's allowable and what's not. So we're going to play this a little bit. So let's see, what kind of emoji do I want? So put a happy face emoji if you have crystals in your home. And I know most of you do, because if you have crystals in your home, that means that you have a connection to them and you are feeling their energy, and you don't know why you're attracted to them, but you are, and you just want them in your life. You want them around you because they give off positive energy. And the wonderful thing about crystals is if we work with them with intention, then they can work for us to their highest good. So what is an amazing thing about crystals is they can really help us in so many different ways. So when I learned about crystal energy, I became really obsessed, and I just started buying them and realized, oh my gosh, I can, wear them for jewelry. I can keep them in my pocket, put them in my bra, all those lovely things, because they're meant to do so much more than just, be pretty, because, they are, but they're definitely supposed to be with us and help us keep our vibration high, keep us healthy in a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual way. So once I learned about all the amazing natural gifts that crystals have, it opened up a whole new world for me, and I wanted to learn more about them. And I became that girl who always wore crystals, who had them in her purse, had them in her bra, in my bed. I currently have about 28 crystals in around my bed right now. So if you're one of those people, you get me, and that is just who I am, and I'm not ashamed of that at all. So if you're interested in using crystals in a more intentional way, I'm so glad you're here, because we're going to talk just a few simple things that how to care and keep your crystals working to the optimal level. Because yes, we love crystals, and of course we want to have reap the benefits of having them around, because sometimes they're not, they're not too cheap. And sometimes we're investing a lot of money, because have you ever been in a crystal store and within minutes you just either start sweating? I do. And so if you've ever gone to a crystal store with me, you're gonna know I'm gonna have a tissue, and I'm doing this because the energy I'm receiving from the crystals literally heats my body up. That, or I'm just having hot flashes, I don't know. But I like to blame it on crystals and not my age, right? So because there's so much energy giving off of all these crystals, you're in a room of thousands of crystals, and you start walking, down the aisles, and you're thinking, I feel so good. And you look at one, and it's like they're talking to you, because they are. And, give me a heart emoji if you know what I'm talking about. And you start saying, oh, I want you, and you start acting like, precious. And it's because they are. But their energy is, you're feeling it, and you just feel kind of euphoric. And then all of a sudden, your basket that, the salespeople will so nicely give you, you just want to fill it up. And then you get to the register, and you're like, oh, I'm spending a lot of money today. And then you decide, do I want to spend it? And then you look, oh, maybe I shouldn't. And then you just say, hell no, I need these honeys. They already told me they want to come home with me. So I have been there. I've done it more than once, and I don't regret it, honestly, because they're just beautiful, lovely friends of mine. And so I created a course about working with crystals and how to use them for everyday needs. So that's a new course that's going to come out November 28th. So keep watching my page here on Instagram, and tag your friends about my page, because I'm going to be doing more lives about crystals as we get closer to that date, because I'm trying to collect crystal loving friends in this class. Because one, so everybody can meet each other and we can create kind of a crystal tribe. Wouldn't that be fun? And we can do other things, after the class. We can maybe create a private Facebook page. I don't know. I'm just, talking off the top of my head. So share this video with your friends. What I wanted to talk about is how to empower crystals to work and help us with our healing. The biggest thing that I wanted to share tonight is cleansing and clearing our crystals when we buy them from the stores, because chances are they came to the store, they were bought in bulk, and they came either directly from a crystal broker or the mine or something. So, crystals have probably gone through a lot by the time they got into the store. And then they sat in the store for a while, and they got handled probably by a couple of dozen people. And there are residual energy that came from being mined, being processed, being cut and shaped and buffed and polished, and then packaged, shipped, and then stored, and then handled by all these people, crystal loving people like me and you. So we got to clear them. So ways to clear your crystals is, of course, sacred smoke. So this is sage. You can take your crystal, burn your sage, and just do it around. Just cover your lovely crystal with the beautiful smoke. You can also do that with Palo Santo smoke. So that is lovely. So you just do it, and you tell the crystal, I release you from any negative or stagnant energies that you received from mining, from processing, shipping, handling, until you came into my hands. And another way you can do a clearing or a cleansing is salt. So this is Kauai salt. Yeah, she's a pretty jar, right? So Kauai salt. So you put the crystal in the jar, and you just leave it overnight. Sometimes I like to sink them in, but I like to have this really big jar of salt. I use it for other things too. I actually use it for my oil blends. It's my secret ingredient. Don't tell anybody. So salt is a beautiful cleanser, clearer, purifier. Salt will clear your crystals. So that's two easy peasy ways. As soon as you buy something, you clear it. So you remove anything that they collected before they came into your hands. Yes, I know, right? We didn't know these things. So the next thing you need to do is you charge your crystal, because they are probably kind of running on empty. So we want our crystals to work for us. So we got to charge them. So you can either put them in the sun, and in my class I talk about which ones are okay to put in the sun and which ones are not, because the sun can bleach certain crystals like an amethyst. So you would not put an amethyst in the sun, but she can go in the moonlight. Everything goes in the moonlight. Hina does it for us. So I prefer actually to charge my crystals on a full moon. And so if it's crystals that you wear every day, like your favorite bracelets, your favorite necklace, your ring, crystals that you use for your purse or your pocket, they're working hard for you every day. So those need to be definitely charged either every other week or every full moon. Because remember, the full moon comes out every month. So in between full moons, you can either, I'm gonna reach in the back. I forgot to grab this, but good thing I have crystals everywhere in my house. If you ever come to my house, ooh, we'd have fun. So this is selenite. This is a selenite plate. I like, they call it a plate, but I like to call it a dish, whatever. Or just a little, circle. It's like the moon, see? So selenite is the amazing crystal that is a must-have. It's one of my must-haves in the course that I talk about, that you just have to have in your house. And I have multiple ones. So this crystal can actually charge other crystals. So if you have a plate, all you'd have to do, set your crystals on top, and they start charging. They start making friends, and they're saying, hi, I think you need some help. And they said, yes, please charge me. And they said, okay. So they will charge. So you leave it there overnight or a couple days, whatever you feel works. And use your heart, use your intuition to say, are you ready? You ready to work for me? And they'll say, yeah. So selenite is a great one to have. I use it all the time because, especially I have two of these plates. I have one in my bedroom, especially for bracelets that you wear all the time. So how long do you leave it on the plate? I like to leave it for a couple of days or at least overnight, because certain crystals, certain bracelets, especially jewelry that I wear, that I use during my readings, that I work with, like crystals that I use for my Reiki sessions. When I do crystal Reiki, I put crystals all around the person, and then I use a crystal wand. So those crystals I will charge, and I will leave it for a day or two. And I always make sure that I charge it again right before any Reiki session, because you want those crystals to work. Because what's the use of buying all these crystals if they're kind of drained of their energy, because they give you all this energy? So if you're holding your crystal and you're doing this and you think, oh, I kind of just feel a very faint connection, you don't feel the energy pulsing very strongly, that means it probably needs to be charged. So just kind of remember that. When you know the full moon's coming out, gather all your crystals. I have done a live on that, but I might do another one of how to put your crystals out in the full moon. I also have an ebook for that too. So please join in my bio, in the links, there's a link for joining my newsletter. So please do that, because sometimes I'll give away some free stuff in the newsletter. So join me. I only do emails like once or twice a month. I don't bombard you with a whole bunch of stuff. But in my crystal course, I talk about different ways of charging, how to do it, what the details are, and kind of a step-by-step, because I don't want to be, confusion. And sometimes people will talk about it, but you don't do it and you don't get some details. So the crystal course is just awesome for getting a whole ebook in case you forget some of that. It's written down for you. but you get to learn in a group setting with all, people who want to learn the same thing you are. So there's no embarrassment. Everybody's starting from square one, and you have a lot of fun. Yes, these plates are awesome. So at the end of the live, I will talk about which of my awesome friends sells these, because I always encourage people to buy local. Even though you go into a store, there's a lot of people who sell and it's their home business. Mom's doing business. I always support that. And sometimes they can give you a better price than you would at a retail crystal store. Even though I love them, sometimes their markup is just a little bit much for me, because they have to, they have a lot of overhead of having a brick and mortar store. So some of my friends that, and if you follow any IG crystal sales people, you'll see you can even ask them, oh, you're in Australia, I love it. You might even find some people in Australia that sells, but I know a lot of my friends sell all over the world. So if you were to hook up with some of them, but I will definitely message you, Cats, and give you some information on that. Okay, so we talked about cleansing and charging, because that's important, and we really need to know how to care for our crystals and take care of them so that they will work for us, because we want them to be running on 100 so that they'll work for us. And so next, what I want to talk about is my most favorite crystals for abundance, because a lot of us may not be working, or we're working jobs that we just aren't feeling it anymore. You have this you're starting to get this deep down feeling of, this job isn't for me. I'm not happy. I dread going to work every day. There's people there I like, but there's more people I don't like, And I was there too. I was that person about 5 years ago. And it was about when my spirit guides came to me and I was learning, and they said, do you want this life? And I said, yes. And they said, do you really want it? Do you really want this connection? Because he said, I'll give it to you, but you got to commit to me. And I said, I will commit to you. I'm yours. And he said, okay. And I got laid off from my job, but that's okay. I realized I needed it. I needed to purge those things. So let's talk about crystals for abundance. Now, some of my favorite, I'm going to share my top 5. And, we need to talk about too, when somebody says, my life is abundant, it could mean a lot of different things. It doesn't have to mean how much money's in your bank account right now. It could mean abundance in love, abundance in friends, abundance in family, abundance in teachers, abundance in support system that you have, abundance in your garden, a lot of different things, just abundance in love. Because sometimes having some of those other things are a little bit better than having a whole lot of money. Because I know a whole lot of really, really rich people that aren't happy. I don't get it. Let's be honest. How can you not be happy? But I see it, and I understand, and I realize that is their truth. Whether I can relate to that or not is another thing. So my top 5 abundance crystals that you could use in a crystal grid would be pyrite. So this is pyrite. Isn't it gorgeous? So pyrite is also called fool's gold, because it does mimic gold. But it is the get it done crystal, because it makes things happen for you. It is excellent if you're going to create a money pot. And in my class, I show how to do that too, because I have one. It's working. That honey is humming. And it is great to have a little piece of it in your wallet or in your purse. And it brings in the money. It brings in the abundance. And it is very high vibrating, and it is also for grounding. It also helps us to keep secure, to feel safe, to know where we are and where we're going. So this is a beautiful crystal to have. I use this, not this exact one, but I used a lot of them for crystal grids. And I did a short little reel on a grid that I did for grounding and abundance. And I used my root chakra singing bowl. That's for sale. So the next one is selenite, which I talked about the plate, but another way of having selenite is in a tower. So selenite can be cut in a lot of different ways. So you can get it in a plate. You can get it, they shape it in it looks like a knife, which is for energy healing. And then this is a tower. So towers are excellent for your altar, for bringing in the energy and also repelling any negative energy. I have a big, huge, it looks like a log. It's a slab over my front door. So it prevents any energy from actually entering my house. It's beautiful. And so this one is also excellent for creating crystal grids. So lovely. So selenite is the energy clearing crystal. It is the only crystal that helps with detoxing the energy in the room that it's in. It clears the energy of other crystals as well as charges. So this is my top 5 must-have, and I have a ton of these all over my house in different forms. So the next one is amazonite, and I forgot to bring an example of one, and I have a whole bowl of them in my bedroom. But amazonite is a light green to bluish colored stone, and it's really powerful for the heart chakra. It is the stone of truth telling, and it helps to keep the flow of inspiration and love to help you tap into that self-love. Because if we really want to have abundance, we have to have some serious love for ourselves and our future and where we're going. So the love is very much associated with abundance, because if we don't feel we're deserving of abundance because we don't love ourselves enough, guess what? That money flow is not happening. So sometimes our own blocks that we have, blocks that we have for money is ourselves, because we don't have confidence in ourselves. We don't have enough love for ourselves, self-love. So that amazonite is a big one, is a big helper for the abundance. So sometimes I like to use amazonite as one of my crystals for a grid, and they look really pretty. The next one is citrine. Now this is a light colored one, and citrine comes in a lot of forms. So this one is probably, because of the price that I paid for it, it wasn't a lot. So this is probably, actually, first, this was an amethyst. And so what people do, I'll tell you, they heat up an amethyst really, really hot in these ovens that they do. Not like your oven at home, it's even hotter. And so they heat it up for a long period of time and let it cool down slowly, and it turns yellow, and they call it citrine. Citrine is considered the stone of monetary abundance and personal power, because it is associated with the solar plex chakra because of that beautiful sun yellow color. So it is where the seed of how we treat money and how we see ourselves, because it's, this is right next to the heart chakra, so it's right here. So how we see ourselves, how we consider ourselves in perspective of the rest of the world. And so citrine is a big one about how we see money and how we see money coming to us. And then the next one is rose quartz. And again, I forgot to bring one. I don't know. It's one of those days. But, we all know what rose quartz looks like. It's pink. I don't know where, they're all in my bedroom. So rose quartz is a beautiful one. And again, that's for the heart chakra, for love, compassion, and letting go of any pain and trauma that we have procured over our precious, physical lives, that has recreated these blocks that keep us from having abundance. So rose quartz, and it has a very gentle energy. So it slowly peels back those layers that we've built to protect ourselves. It slowly lets go of those things. So wearing something in a rose quartz pendant, or even strawberry quartz, it's a little deeper pink. That's an excellent one to wear as a necklace because it's right here by your heart. So this is a Lemurian quartz, and it's very powerful. So I keep that by my heart because I love her and I love me. See, taking care of yourself. So those are my top 5 for abundance. And so you can use any combination of those in a crystal grid. And so ways to use them would be in an abundance pot, which I go over in my class. Keep them close to your body. You can wear them like jewelry or put them in your pocket. And then having a grid laid out. So if you were to have maybe even the money pot and then placing a grid around the money pot in a certain part of your home. So if you follow feng shui practices, you would know where your abundance corner is. And that's where you would put your money pot and then your grid for abundance. I know it's kind of detailed, but I go through all that in my course because there's ways that we can achieve real long-lasting joy and abundance using crystals, and it's something that I've been working on and I love it, and I just want to share it, right? Because it's fun. So we want to use the healing potential of crystals, because if we're going to be buying them because we like them and they're pretty and they kind of mesmerize us, why not use them for our greater good? And one way to do that too is you want to tune your crystals, and that's a real thing. So the tuning fork that you would use is 4096, and that's what this one is. You see it? So I bought this in a set of 3. So this one comes with 2 angel tuning forks. So you'd use the tuning forks to connect to angel energy. But this one actually tunes your crystals. So when you get your crystals, another thing after clearing, charging them, is you can program them. So when you're going to create your grid, before you do that, you get them all together in a little pile in a little, party area, and you strike your tuning fork, and you can do that with a clear, this is one of my Lemurians, and you strike lightly the back of the crystal and you face it towards the crystals. So this sound will radiate and vibrate to the crystals and tune them. And then you sit in meditation, you gaze at your crystals, you can put your hands really close to them, and you tell them what you want them to do because they need direction. And if you ever like, well, I have had this crystal, but it's never, I don't have love, or it isn't, because maybe you didn't clear and charge them. Maybe you didn't program them. You got to tell them what to do. They don't have free will like we do. They want us to tell them what to do. And it's simple. It's not like we're being bossy. We can create the relationship. You say, oh, I love you so much. And you can even give them names. I have names. I named all of my pendulums because I use them for work. And my Lemurian crystals that I use for Reiki healing, they got names too. So this one's tiny. She's cute but mighty. So you would strike your tuning fork at the end, at the base, and you don't have to do it hard because you don't want to hurt your crystal. But if you just do it lightly enough, can you hear that? It's light enough so if you use a crystal with a point, that tone is radiating through the crystal, making it even more powerful to the other crystals. Let me do it again. Ooh. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, tuning forks are the bomb diggity. My other friends, which I love. So in my course, I show and teach how to do all these wonderful, fun things, because you got to have these fun gadgets, It's actually better than buying purses, because I used to be a designer purse person. I still have them, but I don't buy them anymore. I just, still have them. But I buy crystals because not only are they pretty, but they're working for me. They're my team. They're my employees. And I love them and they love me. So programming your crystals is so important. I mean, once I learned that, I was like, holy shit, I was doing this all wrong. So share this video with your friends, my lovelies, because this information is important. We need to know this shit. And so in my class, I talk about which crystals are great for 4 different things, because I have crystal kits that I'm selling that also go with a crystal mat. And I have a beautiful friend who is a Lohala master weaver, and he makes crystal grids out of Lohala. So how earthly beautiful is this? And you create your grid on this mat. And he made a purple one for me. So I have crystal sets for protection, for abundance, for love, and for intuition, the mighty 4. Because in Hawaiian mythology or Hawaiian practice, a lot of things are done in 4s. So that's the 4. That's my 4. And a lot of grids are going to be done in sets of 4. So if you ever see a grid that I'm doing, it's either 4s, 2s, 8s. So we keep in those numbers for Hawaii because, we're in Hawaii. So yeah. So other things that I like to do is creating elixirs and crystal elixirs. So this is the jar that I put out in the last full moon. And what I added in the jar are crystals. I don't know if you can see them. So I have a big clear quartz crystal, and I have 3 rose quartz crystals, and these crystals have Reiki symbols on them. So not only do I have crystal energy, but also Reiki energy in this. And I also, prayed over it, and I Reiki'd it. And then there's also shungite. So this is noble shungite. This is a little pricier shungite, and that's why they're small, because they're freaking pricey. But the shungite clears and cleanses the water. It is the ultimate water filter. So if you were to ever buy shungite, get the noble shungite for your water. I have a big water jug in my refrigerator, and it's got shungite in there too. So no matter what water you drink, if you come to my house, you're getting shungite charged water, and it's yummy. You can taste the difference. No joke. So this I will use for any meditation needs, any Reiki sessions. And if you take a Reiki class with me, I would show you how you use this kind of water in your Reiki session. You can use it to take your vitamins. You can water a plant if you want to, or just freaking drink it. It's wonderful. You could even, take a little bit out and, wipe your crystals down if you wanted to, because sometimes they get dusty. I have details of the class on my bio page. And go in the link tree and you'll see crystal divination course. So click on that and it'll take you to my website, where it'll have all the details about my course and all the fabulous information, a little bit more detail. So if anybody has any pressing questions, I'm kind of done with sharing about crystal fun stuff. I could go on forever, but I would give away a whole lot of stuff from the course. So the course is regular price, $55. Early bird pricing is $44. So you can purchase that now on my website. And so it talks about all the things that we're going to talk about in the course. And it's so much. It's crazy. And it'll include a guided meditation with Reiki, which that's a ton of fun. And you'll get special pricing of purchasing the crystal kits. And you can fashion them and have a custom made crystal grid if you want to add that to your kit. So if anybody has any questions, so I will take a couple of questions just to finish out the hour. If anybody has questions about any crystals they might have, anything like that, I will answer them to the best of my ability. And because I love crystals so much, and because I love stuff that smell good, so any crystals you can't put in your water. Yes, there's quite a lot of toxic crystals, and that's one of the things that I share in the class. There's quite a long list of crystals that you would not put in your water. One of them would be malachite, and there's quite a few others. There's so many because some of them might have toxic properties. So I have a list of the do not put in water crystals. One, because they could dissolve. Two, not that they would hurt you, they would just fall apart. And so one of those is selenite. So never put selenite in water. It would just fall apart. And don't put selenite in your bra if you live in Hawaii, because, you know, it gets hot and sticky down there, and your your selenite will dissolve. Not that I ever did it. So if you break or chip a crystal, does it compromise its properties? It does a little bit, and it depends on where the break is and how bad the break is. I had a beautiful blue apatite crystal, this nice long palm stone, and I had it. So I don't know, I think in my shirt or something, and I took off my sports bra and it fell out and it broke in half, and I was so sad. And that one, because it broke in half, it's not gonna work as well, but it still works. So I didn't throw it away. So please don't throw them away. But you can put them in your plants, any broken ones. You can still put it in different things. You can still use it in your bed for a grid, or you can put it, I like putting broken ones in my plants because plants love crystals. So that's something that you can do. Okay, so I hope some of you are interested in my course. It's going to be a lot of fun. It will start on November the 28th, and I might run a couple of sessions on it because I just love crystals, and it's pretty affordable. I mean, it's only $44. We're going to go for about 2.5 hours, maybe more if the conversation gets really fun and exciting and we just start talking about crystals. And because at the end, we will start looking at the kits, and I can custom make those crystal kits for you. Yes, I can't, definitely don't throw them away. And yes, put them in your plants. It's a great place. And even if you have like a little bag that you have in your purse, if you keep little chipped pieces, you can put them in a little, let me show you. Oh God. Okay. Ow. So I will show you this cute little thing I keep in my purse. How many minutes do I have? Okay. Where is it? So I keep this cute little jar, and it's corked, and it's got Hawaiian salt, and it's got a bunch of chips. So some of them were broken pieces of broken crystals, but also little chips, because I buy chips to go in my oils. So because I love crystals so much, I created oil blends for your chakras. And I also teach a chakra class. I might bring that one back too. So these oil blends, I have one for every chakra, and I have 6 different ones for your archangels. So these have crystal chips inside that help to balance and support that chakra, as well as support the oils in there. So I have these on my bio page too. So they're beautiful, beautiful stuff, because you want to smell good too. So I have a succulent that was almost dead, and I put 3 crystals, and they came back, right? See? Because you probably even thought crystals saved this plant, right? Well, thank you, beautiful people, for joining my live. So thank you, beautiful souls who joined me. I'm so thankful to have you. And I hope you enjoyed some of the lovely tidbits that I shared about crystals. And if you're interested, if you have more questions, feel free to message me about my course. It's going to launch November the 28th. Right now, it is regular price $55, and it is early bird sale for $44. So get in on that price now. Hold your spot, because I'm only going to take 20 people. So the first 20 people are gold, like this pyrite. So thank you so much. Love and joy for this weekend. Blessings. Aloha.